Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Cheryl from Orb Coaching. I offer three primary coaching services: business life and professional business English. In the last 3 weeks, I've been recording videos on the hop. They're not scripted, they're not edited. I will do that as I progress and my YouTube channel grows. What I'm doing is presenting to you case studies relating to clients that I'm currently working with in the view to give you an insight, some understanding, some help, support, ideas about the value of coaching and what it can do for clients such as mine. And also, you might find some helpful tips for yourself personally moving forward. So, thank you for watching my videos, and I'm going to jump straight into it. Excuse me. So the client that I'm going to talk to you about today is a lady who was recommended to come to me. So she came to me about, just checking the date, okay, beginning of November. And I'm going to give you some background so that you've got some context. The reason that she came to me is that she wants to further develop her leadership skills and she wants to aim higher and get promotions. She is incredibly ambitious, very talented, hardworking, and usually very focused. Now, we were working through the sessions and strengthening her leadership and communication skills. And also, we touched on some of the professional business English as well. And we really worked on her CV covering letter to get everything ready and to position herself. About 2 weeks ago, she came to me and she realized what's happening globally in the market and that there is a head count freeze or employment freeze across the board and has tapered or pulled back her ambitions slightly to cater for the current market situation that we're all faced with. However, she still has her eye on the target and we're still moving towards this. The reason why we worked as well on her CV and covering letter is that there was an upcoming leadership position that she wanted to go for. We had a session. She sent the curriculum vitae and covering letter and was indeed invited for an interview. So when we had the session last Friday, she was in a really good position and has really advanced in just a matter of a few weeks. But what came out through this session was that she was becoming overwhelmed, totally overwhelmed with everything that was going on. She also had an upcoming transatlantic trip to make that weekend. The interview was immediately after the weekend, plus an international workshop that she's been working on designing and developing the week after. The reason why she was overwhelmed wasn't just work related, but during this trip, there was also a private situation that came into play, which she needed to tackle as well. Now, the reason why we had quite a strong coaching session is that her emotions started to get the better of her. The reason why I kept bringing her on point is because she had been working so hard the last few weeks to position herself in place to get this interview. So all the work that we had done led up to this point. The fact that she was making a transatlantic trip, plus there was the opportunity to also display her leadership talents through a workshop immediately afterwards, were two opportunities that she couldn't afford to miss. She'd been working towards this. She gained it. The focus and goal was there, but she was almost sidelined and knocked out of direction because of this private and emotional situation that needs to be dealt with. Now, it is a situation which is playing a lot on my client's mind and heart, of course. However, it's not a desperate situation, meaning, although it's to do with life coaching and that side of our personalities or characteristics, it's not a life-threatening situation and can be put on pause. As a result of that, I coached my client through the session, and towards sort of halfway through it, I asked her what her thoughts were if we could put the emotional side of things for the moment on pause, just so that we can evaluate what else I can support and facilitate her with in that session. We only had 60 minutes, and she had an upcoming trip that evening and preparation for the interview and workshop the following week. Her thoughts were quite, she was like, can I really do that? I said, well, what's stopping you from doing that? So we went into her own sort of fears and doubts and how she would be perceived if you put it on hold. And then we continued with the session. I said, well, let me ask you another question, if I may. You are being presented with two opportunities that came by chance. They actually came as a result of all of your hard work, direction, focus, and ambition, and particularly strengthen those areas in the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks since you've been coming to coaching sessions. This is what you wanted. This, if I'm not mistaken, is what you've been working towards. Is this right? So she said, yes. I said, out of interest, has anything changed since you came to me just a few weeks ago? I said, absolutely not. If anything, I want this more than I did before. I said, okay. I said, so the fact that you've done all of this work, are you willing to lose these opportunities that you've created for yourself due to your hard work? She thought about this for a few moments and she said, absolutely not. I can't. I said, okay. So with this emotional situation, I'm not going to tell you not to deal with it. I said, of course, you need to, and it's important for you also as a sovereign human being. And, she's got a big heart too. I said, but you also can't afford to lose this opportunity. You're flying halfway across the world. It's not a 20-minute trip down the road that you can postpone and reschedule. So you're going to have to use your time really wisely. She agreed with everything I said. And for now, put this emotional situation, especially for this coaching session, the time that we've got left, in a box and place it under the bed. I'm not saying don't deal with it. I'm just saying just don't deal with it at the moment because it's interfering with your focus and your direction and your very specific, ambitious goals. Is that right? She was saying, yes, absolutely. I said, okay. I said, so now that so where have you put the emotional situation at the moment? And she sort of rephrased what I said. And she said, well, I'm putting it away in a box and I'm shoving it under the bed and I'll take it out next week when we have our next session. I said, yes. I said, and for the purpose of preparing and being focused for this interview that you've got coming and the workshop. I said, can you please remind me what your feedback was in previous interviews this year? She said, and she went over the information again, and she said, one of the big things is that I'm not structured. I'm all over the place. She said, and I think that they think I'm not ready for the position, when in fact I'm more than ready for the position. I said, exactly. I said, you mentioned structured. So now can you see how important it is that we move the emotional side of what's going on in your life just for the time being? And she looked and she thought and she agreed with me. She said, I never thought about it like that. I said, that's why we're having these sessions. I said, now you mentioned the word structured. I said, so let's go over what it is that you need to do to prepare for the final interview next week. And I listed them for her. So just 5 key things that she needed to continue to brush up on and prepare. And the reason why I did this is because during our coaching session, she was talking about, oh, I'm going to go on YouTube, I'm going to download this, I'm going to look at this, I'm going to read this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to write this, I'm going to do blah, blah, and was getting herself more and more overwhelmed and off point. I brought her back in, listed the 5 things that she needs to focus on. I told her, please take a picture of it, keep it on your mobile. Every time you feel yourself going off into a different direction, come back to it and prepare for that. I said, because your time management now, not just your leadership skills, but time management is crucial and you really want this position. So we wrapped up the session. She was really, really happy. She said, I can't believe we've managed to structure this. My mind is clear. I know exactly what I do, what I need to do, and I know exactly where I want to be. I said, perfect. And I wished her good luck, and we will follow up in a few days' time. So this is a demonstration of how important it is that when you've done all the work, you've positioned yourself in a strong place, the opportunities come up because of the doors you've opened for yourself through your hard work, that you don't let something or someone come in just as you're coming to the finishing line to kick you and throw you off course. And this happens a lot, where we're all almost 95% to the finishing line and something happens. It's almost like it's deliberately put there in place to test your resilience and your determination. And it doesn't mean you don't deal with it, and it doesn't mean we're not going to address it. Of course we will. But we will be able to shift from the thinking to the emotional stage in our next session, depending on the outcome of these interviews and what it becomes a priority for her then. So I hope that you find this very useful. Okay, don't give up, keep showing up, put the hard work in, and make sure no one or any distractions try to sideline you just as you're reaching the finishing line of the hard work that you've put in. So good luck out there, take care of yourselves, and have a great week. Thank you for watching. Bye.